Hello, my name is Alencia Lamb, and this is my presentation for MKT532 Consumer Behavior for Module 3, titled Attitudes and Persuasion. The topics that were discussed in this module were persuasion and different techniques, persuasion and motivation, and effects of attitude on persuasion. So, marketers can effectively use persuasive techniques to influence consumer attitudes and behaviors through different elements of their message. Since messages tend to be a mixture of central and peripheral, where central refers to logic, data, and facts to convince audiences, and peripheral refers to an indirect route that uses cues to associate positivity within the message. This combination can address the three other main focal points of effective persuasion: the channel, audience, and source. Being defined as the process of changing one's attitude toward something based on communication, persuasion is a vital element to reach consumers. The four focal points mentioned before play a major role in changing consumers' outlook on the topic or subject at hand. Understanding the characteristics of each of these elements can make it easier on the marketers. In order to have an influential message, marketers must make sure that the other focal points involve the following characteristics. For the sources, they should be credible, attractive, emotional, have culture, and a presence of opposing arguments. The channel should be active versus passive, personal versus media, and written versus seen or heard. And for the audience, they should consider age, distraction or involvement, education, mood, and need for cognition. And these elements can help in persuasion by motivating people to change, helping them move status quos, and ensuring sales contact. Marketers do have the ability to maximize their impact by derailing counter arguments and selective avoidance made against them, and ensuring that their message is subtle yet firm, and ensuring that audience's attitude is open for the message being sent. Marketers can ethically and responsibly use fear appeals on consumers' behavior by sympathizing with consumers and offering a solution, for example, their product, instead of exploiting those fears for their own gain. They can also use conformity to ethically and responsibly use fear appeals, since people have a tendency to conform when uncertain, a social influence is present, or their cognitive load is affected. And there are two types of conformity that consumers experience, those being normative and informative conformity. Factors that can affect conformity are group size, unanimity, expertise, culture, gender, and time. Some examples of persuasive techniques used are bandwagoning, name calling, card stacking, and glittering. In using these techniques, marketers are able to draw more attention to their products, and they're able to make them more appealing and have the ability to downplay their competitors. From this, marketers can learn what methods work best for reaching their target audience and how to approach them in future marketing. Consumers' background, such as demographic, culture, and values, can impact their susceptibility to persuasion, as these tend to be the building blocks that make a person's beliefs. These characteristics shape consumers and determine if they deem your product of being worthy of purchasing, or if they are open to changing their attitude towards your product. I'm mentioning attitude, as this is also a major player in consumer persuasion. It evaluates a person's feelings or evaluations towards a noun, meaning that it evaluates a person's feelings or evaluations towards a person, idea, or object. There are two different types of attitude forces that a person can experience, and those being internal forces or external forces. Internal forces are able to create a change in cognitive dissonance or tension from conflicts in thought, feelings, and behaviors. Some ways to combat this are by adding new behaviors, cognitions, or attitudes. External forces are able to affect attitudes via the central route or the peripheral route. Key components of attitudes are feelings, behavior, and belief and knowledge. Some benefits of attitude change from consumers are accepting that change, personal growth, and improved communication. Now moving back to persuasion, some strategies that can be used to help build trust and credibility with consumers are reciprocity, commitment, building that trust, being transparent, and knowing your audience. And these strategies are key to a brand's longevity, as well as ensuring that they always have the backing of those consumers that they've now gained. Again, my name is Alentia Lamb, and this is my video summary for Module 3, Attitudes and Persuasion.